Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Scoop Coaches Show. Joining me is my right-hand man, Theodore Hammond.
Yep. Got my golfer's hat on. Getting ready to go, buddy.
And who are our special little guests today?
The guests today are for people out there that are collectors of these things. These are M&M collector items. And after going to a science fair, I was a judge this last week, and a young man there wanted to know if I could tell the difference between M&Ms and Skittles. Well, it wasn't too tough, okay? So this guy here, we call him Sir Dunkum, and all you have to do is you take the ball here, and you dunk it like that, and then these M&Ms come out. It looks like a little colostomy bag here or something. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, there's no M&Ms in there, okay? Because they fall out all the time.
Okay.
So I bought this for $20. Okay, I figured it'd be a good collector's item. I got about 8 of these things, and I figured, okay, we can celebrate the March Madness going on, and then we got this one here that I'm going to be celebrating pretty quick, going out on the golf course. And all you do is you take this baby and you swing it, okay? And the golf was supposed to stay in there. And you swing it, and then it comes out in the sand trap. Comes out of this golf bag back here. Now, these are quite the gizmos.
Yes.
I paid $20 for each of these. I'm willing to sell them for $20. Now, I'm going to make a profit at all, because I went online the other day, and I thought these are going to be a collector's item, right? I paid $20, and they're worth $6 right now online. So I figured, I only lost $14. Maybe I can, somebody out there, some of you viewers, you want to pay $20 for these things? I'll give you 2 for $20.
Oh my God!
I'm still making money on the deal. So, just want to get out of the way. Sports show. These are sports gizmos here. So there you go. Okay, that's good. All right, get rid of those babies. Okay. Well, anybody out there, just contact Andy. Okay.
We don't have a lot of high school stuff to talk about, Teddy.
Where to go?
We're almost in between here now. We should talk about the girls' state tournament, the final high school sporting event of the winter. In Class A, Goodhue wrapped Maranatha by about 25. Goodhue had the girls' state championship and the boys' state runner-up.
Isn't that something?
How about that, huh?
What a town, and it's right a little ways away from us here. I remember we played Goodhue back in the day when we went to state, and they always been really good in boys basketball. And the girls, I don't know, that was probably their smallest margin of victory, because the other ones they won like by 30 and 40 first 2 games. So they're the real deal.
Yep. In Class AA, Plainview, Elgin, Millville rolled over New London Spicer, and the Mark Dreyer for New London Spicer, I think this was like his 16th state tournament, so it's not like you're trampling a no-name.
No, the guy's a well-known name in the girls' sports. I remember the guy from Austin Pacelli back in the old days when girls just got to start after Title IX, and he was the first coach to 200 wins. His name, I think, was Terry Nelson from Pacelli. Yeah. And now you got these guys are going 500 wins and stuff like that. So it's been around a long time.
Plainview won 72-42.
Yep, not much of a game there.
In AAA, Holy Angels defeated Winona in the closest game of the 4, I believe, 51-43, 8-point margin. Winona, for some of you that will remember, last year, a year ago, when Waseca was in that section, they held Winona to about 30 points in the section semifinals and beat them. And I remember Jones saying they got everyone back. They'll be very good next year. And they got all the way to the finals before running out of gas.
I'm glad the way you say Winona.
Winona.
When I first came to Minnesota,
I
said Winona, and it says no Y in Winona. I said, okay, I got
Stress
that.
the win.
I still remember that. That was like 40 years ago. Jeez.
And in the Big School Championship last night, Class 4A, Minnetonka defeated Hopkins 61-52. Those 2 teams had played twice during the year, and each had won once. And there was some big-time talent on the court for that game. Did you see Minnetonka had 3 girls that you wouldn't want to meet in an alley?
And you believe that, as big as Minnetonka is, that was their first state championship in anything.
Yeah, was it in anything?
I think it was anything, yeah.
I think they won a football.
I don't know. The way it announced down last night said
I know it was the first girls basketball title.
Well, he didn't qualify it.
Okay.
The guy, when I listened to him, he just said it was their first championship for any sport.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, my God.
Because they're huge.
What's their nickname?
Skippers.
Okay, just checking. Okay.
And that wraps up the winter sports season, hard as it is to believe.
Where'd it go?
It's over, and the spring sports are starting to roll. Last week, softball and track and field started. Track and field, of course, Dave Abel, all he has to do is repeat as a boys state champion this year. No pressure, right?
And state coach of the year.
Yep. I think the track teams have a meet coming up this week already in Mankato, in indoor.
Unbelievable.
The softball team, Melissa Cox, they will get underway April 7th against WEM.
Ooh.
A rivalry battle right off the bat.
I wonder if EM's got all the same girls that were out for volleyball and basketball. If they're out for softball, they're going to have another good run.
Tomorrow now, golf and baseball get underway, and Teddy, maybe a little golf preview. You've been having captain's practices, I know.
Yeah, we've had a good time. Friday we had to share with the blood drive. That was kind of cool.
That's right,
We'd drill somebody and then they'd go over and give blood. But no, it was we just
hit them between the eyes and they kind of staggered over and sat down. Oh, you're at the blood bank. Okay.
Just take a pint. Okay.
Good move, Teddy.
Yeah, it was. I thought so. We can combine the two sports together. But now we had some kids showing up in the morning, and we had wiffle balls, and we had the AstroTurf, and then I put an island green, I call it, where it's like an octagonal piece of AstroTurf. You stick it out in the middle of the gym, and then they have to chip onto it. They chip onto it, they get themselves an Oreo mint cookie, or they get whatever I got. Got Peeps coming up with Easter and everything. And the kids like it. It's a good way to kick off the season. Unfortunately, we're not going to start on Monday. Monday and Tuesday, I got some big tests coming up in Rochester, so those take precedent over the start. We'll start on Wednesday, and the weather, it was looking really great, and then all of a sudden we get that 2 inches of snow here the other day, and I'm thinking I'm shoveling, and what's wrong with this picture? I'm not supposed to be shoveling today. So we'll get started. I got 31 people that are on the not varsity, but 9 through 12, and we got 11 girls trying to get the 12th girl, because we're one of the few teams that can field a varsity and a JV team usually. A lot of places don't have a JV team at all for girls, so we got some youngsters coming up. We're looking good there. We got the kids that got a lot of experience last year, and the varsity boys going to have there's about 8, 9 kids going to be in the running for the 6 spots in the varsity. So a competition always brings out the best.
Good,
and in golf, you don't have to worry about, okay, you better rebound, or you better ball handler, you better assist guy. What'd you shoot? 45. What'd you shoot? 39. Okay, 39 you go, 45.
Yeah.
It's just the easiest way to do it. So it's a sport that the kids that put in the time in the summer and in the off season, they're usually the ones that rise to the top during the season. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, some really good candidates out there. We've got Andrew Weber came back from last year. He's a junior this year, and he's the real deal. We got Nick Rolling, really came on strong at the end of last year. Got some young kids coming up. There's this little Griffin Seifert. He's going to be a 7th grader, but he's shooting in the 30s last summer out at the course. We're going to give him a look. It's going to be fun. We'll see what happens.
And golf, like baseball, boy, they better play in the summer.
Oh, geez.
They're a mile behind,
aren't
they?
And what you lose, the 6 months you don't play, and then the 6 months somebody else, you lost a year.
Yeah, and the high school season is so short and so weather-related that it can be gone.
The weather, you're right on that.
Your sport is probably weather-related as much as anyone, because when you get a good rain, that might set you back a couple days on a course.
Our course especially, with some little spots.
Yep.
But Matt, I met him, and he's looking good. He got over that Achilles injury he had last year. And the course, they're redoing the clubhouse right now. So usually when the ice goes out, the course opens up, and a lot of courses around here opened up. Mm-hmm. But we didn't. I was out there the other day, and you'll never recognize the bar area. It's completely, they took that little office out behind it, and they opened it up all the way. It's going to really be something when they're done, but I don't know when they're going to be done. So we don't need the clubhouse, obviously, for the kids, but for the adults, then the Lewis brothers are chomping at the bit to get out there.
They want their coffee already, I'm sure.
So we'll see what happens.
Don't mean to put any pressure on you, but do you offhand know when you open the season competitive-wise?
Well, we're supposed to open it up on April 4th, but if that's the day I'm thinking of, we'll see. Weather always dictates, but at the same time, we've gone out there last year where we had wind chill of like 20 degrees, went to St. Peter, had about a 30-mile-an-hour wind coming into your face on a par 3. We had to use drivers. So we're used to anything. And that was the day that Andrew Weber shot a 78, probably the best score we had all year in the worst conditions all year. So, some guys just like to be in that kind of weather. Girls, they don't really care for that kind of weather. Right. But the guys, they just, hey, that's what was dealt their hand, so let's play the cards, see what happens.
Well, Coach Joel Hayford will also open the baseball season tomorrow.
What's his name?
Joel Hayford.
Didn't he used to be on this show?
Used to show up once in a while, didn't he?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
The baseball team was 12-10 a year ago, but lost a lot of seniors. I think it's probably fairly obvious that the Blue Jays will rise and fall with the right arm of Eric Moss.
Yeah,
Last year as a sophomore, the kid won 9 games and had a ERA of about 2.3.
Was he on the radar when the season started at all?
We thought when the season started we'd have to get some innings out of him, but
Okay.
nothing like every day you can throw Eric, here's the ball.
Everyday Eric.
And I think
EE.
we'll pretty much ride with Eric, and of course we have Jake Walter back as the catcher, and Dakota Williamson at first base, and other than that we're going to be wide open, brand new. And what a lot of people don't remember, last year Eric, was 9-3, an excellent year, but we had a very good defensive outfield last year. Of Zach Kruger, Alex White, and Lucas Hagel.
What was Alex White's nickname?
Deuce.
Deuce, okay.
And we are completely new in the outfield this year. So those 3 guys got a lot of balls that were hit up the gap and threw out some runners. So it's a long process. But us like you, Teddy, a week ago we were thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to go out the first day of practice. And in fact, Tink had even sent Hafen a text and said, I think the field's good. Which, if you leave even a squib of a mark on Tink's field, you won't be on it.
Nope.
But like Hafe said, you really want a week indoors just to go over the little stuff and get ready. But sometimes you have 4 or 5 or 6 weeks indoors. And
we go in the pool.
Yeah, I know you do. We are
Yeah.
The Blue Jay baseball team is scheduled to open up April 7th. At the town that Joel Hayford made famous.
Le Sueur?
Le Sueur.
Le Sueur.
Where we come and see the statue of Hafe waiting as we pull into the field.
I don't know. Things have changed there. Did you see the other day they tore down the old Green Giant plant?
Yep.
Oh, man.
I think they left the statue, though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're all right. You remember that? When Dittburner won the state title at Le Sueur?
Yeah.
And somebody put a basketball underneath the Green Giant's armpit?
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the best things ever. It was cool.
Dittburner.
Yep.
How long will it take him to get rid of his coat and tie?
It didn't take long, because I remember they always played the stripper song.
It would be 2 minutes or less.
Dun, 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 poof, da, da, dun, dun, poof, and it boop, boop. Okay.
And the final high school sport will start a week from tomorrow. That's Kyle Collins and the Blue Jay tennis crew.
Whoa, Kyle.
So,
just saw Kyle.
Just so everyone knows, Coogie's internet was on the blink, so there are no more notes.
Well, you'd pay your bill. You don't have to worry about it.
Hopefully we won't have any senior moments now, Teddy. But
none. I want to talk about Kyle.
Okay.
What's he going to have for tennis? Any idea?
No idea.
Okay. Because he always has got something.
Mm-hmm.
No idea.
No idea.
I was
what
trying
he has
to-
for tennis.
I was trying to talk Jack Milbred to go out for it. Let's see what happens. Yes.
MSU, the Mavs, lost the Broadmoor Trophy last night.
Yeah.
The finals of the WCHA playoff, that ends their season. They had to win it to go on. They lost 2-1 and got only 14 shots on goal, their lowest of the year.
I think one of the young men in the paper described it best, saying that they outplayed us. As simple as that. They're
Sometimes
faster
it
than us.
happens,
That's
yep.
it. They're the better team on that day. And unfortunately, they don't get to advance to the national tournament, but at the same time, those seniors, they're the ones that turned that whole program around with that Hastings when he came in as coach. The only one I'm not disappointed, but I kept wanting to see Teddy Bluger, because I just love that name for one thing. But he hardly ever showed up in the postseason there, so thank God for that Cervase guy. He did well. And Huggins, the goalie, I think he made all conference.
Yep.
Excuse me, or all tournament for the what do you call that? The Final Five?
WCHA Final Five.
Okay, so what's the Frozen for whatever that is?
That's
the national championship?
Yeah.
Okay.
D1.
All right.
I think
Gophers?
I think the Mavs had only 6 seniors on the hockey team and finished something like 21-13 for the year. So another successful year, but
They had trouble scoring.
yeah. Didn't ran into some real scoring lulls this year.
Other than that, do you ever play hockey?
Just when I was a little kid.
Okay. We used to go shovel off a piece of lake there in Lake Menominee in Menominee and go down there, and it didn't matter what you had. You could have a hockey stick, you could have a broom, whatever.
Yeah.
We'd go down there and play hockey. We had a great time.
Yep. The Gusties, I see the softball team was either in Arizona or Missouri or someplace. Won a couple games.
Okay.
The Mavs softball team split a couple games. The Coley Reese sounds like she's off to a great start this year.
You see how many Ks she had?
Yes, 14 the other game.
Yeah.
And Joel always used to say, greatest changeup he ever saw. So.
Oh, he said that?
Yep.
Jeez, that's quite a compliment.
Golden Gophers, say the hockey team, the men first, got to the finals, had to win. They won the regular season, had to win the playoff trophy, conference tournament as well to get to the national tournament because their record is kind of mediocre.
Right.
And lost to Michigan last night.
Was it 5-3?
5-3. Got an open netter at the end. But kind of an up and down, maybe a disappointing season for the Gopher hockey.
Yeah, they usually, they're the cream of the crop. But the women's team kind of carried the torch, so not a big deal if the guys didn't come through.
How about the women today? The Gopher women are playing for the national championship. The Gopher women are 34-3. They're playing Boston College, who is 40-0. How about that?
Holy crap.
And the Gophers, I believe, didn't a few years ago, they won the national title with an undefeated season.
I think, yeah, you're right.
I think they were undefeated for the year. So,
hey.
Boy, a great season by the Gopher women, but they will have to be at their best today. I think that's a 1 o'clock face-off.
Are we going to bring up the Gopher basketball?
Yes.
Okay.
Coming right up, the Gopher women did not get into the NCAA, got into the NIT, won their opener, and Miss Bantam pumped in 48. Set a Williams Arena record for men or women, most points on that floor. They get another home game today.
Yep.
Play South Dakota, don't they?
Yep.
This afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Those are the Coyotes or the Jackrabbits? I get them mixed up.
State is the Jackrabbits.
Okay. How do you know that?
I just know.
Okay.
South Dakota State Jacks.
Is that right, Andy?
He's absolutely right.
Okay, all right.
South
Because I remember the
Dakota U
Yotes
is the Coyotes.
used to go there for the old Janesville football team for a team camp, and we'd have to do jumping jacks, and it was Y-O-T-E-S, and I'm thinking, what is that? And they don't even spell it right. And then they go, Yotes, 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 and I said, well, isn't it Coyotes? Yeah, but it doesn't fit the chant you do when you do it.
Yeah.
I said, well, this
Good
is,
point.
Well, yeah.
The Gophers did hit the 20-win mark now with that first-round win, and Miss Carly Wagner needs 14 points today to get to 1,000 for the year.
And then she'll take over her Bantam next year.
She will take over next year.
This is going to be...
So, best of luck to the Gopher women. The Gopher softball team,
You didn't mention the Gopher men basketball.
They were done last week. We wrapped them up.
I just wanted to...
We buried them.
We did bury them,
Yeah.
okay.
The softball team won 3 out of 4, I think, down south. The baseball team I saw, I'm not sure where they were at. Were they at Georgia or someplace? They had won 2 out of 3 going into today, so...
Things are looking up for the spring.
Starting to look a little good.
Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung.
Yes, it has.
Well, Teddy, without my crypt sheet, we have to talk about our pro teams. The Wild.
Okay.
Won
you didn't
yesterday.
talk about St. Thomas. You stay at the Cleveland.
St. Thomas.
Should bring them up. Okay.
Division III champions.
And the team that they beat, Benedictine.
Okay.
I've never seen a team named Benedictine before. To me, it sounds like something you put on a sore.
To me, it sounds kind of like...
What do you call that? Well, that could be too, okay? But what is that? Mercurochrome stuff you put on? Remember the old days and you have an owie?
It turned
red.
Red
Yeah.
or orange.
You use that, Andy?
Oh, yeah.
Mercurochrome, yeah.
Well,
That's Ben Gay.
No,
Ben Gay,
never been. Okay, but
Ben Gay.
Horse liniment.
yeah.
My
Okay.
dad, horse liniment.
Anyhow,
Cured everything.
Okay, Benedictine had a chance to be undefeated, and then St. Thomas ruined their day for them. But they came back from way behind, got it to within 2, and then St. Thomas put the hammer down there at the end. But just thought that was kind of cool. St. Thomas, you see their football success, and now basketball carries over to that. So hey, and we got up at St. Thomas? We got a bunch of guys up there. Tommy O'Neill playing ball. Hopefully he comes back from his injury.
Yes.
Jordan Altman's up there.
Yep.
My MVP golfer last year. Hey, it's looking up. Anything else?
Minnesota Wild.
Yep.
Won a 3-2 shootout.
Yep.
What are they now? Last I saw, they were 1 point out of the last playoff spot. Is that what they are?
And I think they got one game in hand.
Okay.
Against Colorado. So that, whatever they do in that game. But it's going to come right down to the end. They got that big game with Colorado coming up.
Yep.
So, Yeah, they go up and down. Geez, all of a sudden they get drilled by New Jersey. What is like 7-2?
7 goals.
Dubnyk, they pulled him right away in the first period. The guy couldn't do anything, and Kemper now is sick. Oh, geez, Louise. It's not good.
What's your bold prediction? Will they make it or not?
I think they'll make the playoffs and they'll surprise.
Okay.
They've underachieved these last. Well, they say as a third win since January 1st at home at the XL. I mean, they sell out every single game, and most places would love to have that, and they still can't perform for their home crowd. So they got to somehow, but they got the talent. They just got to put it together.
Minnesota Timberwolves, Teddy? You love those Wolves.
I don't like that Harden guy with his beard.
I don't like him.
They played
at
Houston the other night, and I don't know. Fear the beard. Save the doggone thing. Don't fear it. Just get rid of it. But,
and gets away every time with the famous Ted Hammond push-off.
Well, I wasn't.
You and Pat Hergat were the two greatest I ever saw at that. Just holding a guy off with that forearm.
Well, and you always got open for a shot, so it worked. No, how many times have you seen that call in the NCAA tournament where these guys shove off and it's a charge right away? They don't even put up with it anymore.
Yep.
So, thank God I came along when I did. I'd be fouled out in about 2 minutes.
Yep. I think the Wolves have 22 wins.
Yep.
Well above net last year.
And who'd they beat the other night? Memphis. Well, they're taking guys off the playground, weren't they? They had like 5 guys that had 10-day tryouts, and the Wolves barely hung on to win that baby by 2, but they won it, and it was away from home. So, hey, anytime you can get a win against the Grizz, that's a good deal.
Well, they have 3 very good young players,
Yes,
no doubt about it, and Pat and Wiggins and Levine.
And Gorgie's coming on.
He's playing well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the answer in there, but he has
I
played well for
I think
him.
Pekovic's the answer, but we just don't see him play.
But that could be in 2019 when he's not hurt.
And I think that's the end of his contract, isn't it?
Somebody, one station said the other day, will KG play next year? And I said, next year? He hasn't played this year.
He looks good in the commercials, though.
Yeah, he looks good.
He does.
Looks good. I think the Wolves are at home Tuesday night.
Yep.
Minnesota Twins, I think the last I saw, they were 9-7 in spring training.
Home run park. Home run. Yeah, home run. Okay.
Buxton's been out a few days with the flu and only has 20 at-bats, and Molitor said his innings may have to be increased a little in these games now for more at-bats.
Well, he's going to have to work at getting in the lineup. You know, they got some good outfielders out there.
Yep.
Who else we got? Irvin Santana. He's been looking good in spring training. He's finally going to pay off some dividends.
And that'll still be the key. If their starting pitchers can give them 6 innings.
I talked to Dan Jensen. He was down there. Went to spring training last week, and he saw, was it Malone pitch, I think? And he said he looked good. He looked pretty good. And Dan was down there with those. If you remember, a guy named Pat Hergat used to be. You just mentioned him. Yeah, he was down there with his wife, and they get together and they go see Ralph Keyes at the ball game. Ralph's the head usher down there at Hammond Stadium.
Well, they don't have to talk then because Ralph will carry that conversation.
Got it. He's been the funniest guy I've ever met.
Well, we should talk a little about the best tournament in all of sports, the NCAA.
And guess who's still in it?
Yeah, 1 game. You've only played 1.
Well, they're going to play 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they may be done today.
Maybe.
Quit badgering him.
But how about the upsets,
Go ahead,
Teddy?
Bucky. Oh, my gosh.
MSU, Michigan State, I would say about 75% of the world probably had them winning their section.
Oh, my God.
Probably about 80% of the world had them winning it all.
Well, how many people are mad they got a 2 seed rather than a 1 seed? They're saying they should have been a 1 seed. Oregon should not have been a... Well, things didn't shake out the way they thought.
And that was no fluke win.
No.
I watched that. Michigan State never led the game.
Yeah.
And was it Middle Tennessee? Is that who they played? Out-rebounded them. You never see an Izzo team get out-rebounded.
No. Well, the curse was in the Sports Illustrated last week. They had a big deal on Denzel Valentine, how he's going to go out and how everything he ever did was because his dad said, you got to go out a winner. You know, and so he's been trying to please his dad all this time. Well, it didn't work out quite the way they thought it would. But at the same time, Middle Tennessee, they were the real deal.
They deserved
They
that
could
win.
go a long ways.
Did you see, I love Izzo for his competitiveness. Did you see him at the press conference afterwards?
I didn't watch it.
They asked him some question, and he was sitting like this. He said, I don't care about that. I don't care about this tournament. I don't even care about tomorrow.
Oh,
He was just in a state of shock.
Like pouting?
No, you could see it just killed him to lose.
Well, it always does.
But, oh my goodness, there have been upsets. Yale wins the first round, and Yale was pretty good.
They almost won the second round.
I watched the second round,
They come
and
back
they were
against
pretty
Duke.
good.
Yes, they were.
A lot of upsets. Little Rock.
Yeah, well, the one I'm looking at right now is Gonzaga.
Yep.
You know, hardly anybody say anything about them. When I watched them in the last game when they played to make it in the tournament, who'd they have to beat?
St. Mary's.
Yeah, and St. Mary's had beaten them twice during the season, so they won the conference to get in. And they dominated their first two, so I'm thinking, gee.
I watched Gonzaga a lot because they were on TV at 10:30 at night a lot.
Yeah.
And
you weren't even ready for bed.
I know, not even thinking of it. And I knew their two big men were pretty good.
That's
and
a bonus.
I watched them 5 or 6 times, and I said, if their guards are hitting from the outside, they're really going to be good. And yesterday they were hitting.
Yes, they were.
And they can play with anybody if they're shooting that well.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Did you get any brackets at all? Did you get in any tournaments?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't, because my wife said, you get so upset when there's all of a sudden a bracket buster. She said, it's not worth you going through all this agony. And I said, you're right. I'm not going to do it this year. So I didn't, but I went to a bar yesterday. First time I've been to a bar probably, I don't know, 20 years. Anyhow, it was my daughter's birthday, so they had this
What
big...
are you talking about, Willis?
So I went and I got some... Yeah. Rap on. So I go there, and these guys, they said, we don't like to get our brackets busted either. They said, so we wait for the final 16, okay? And then we all throw in $100, and we just draw the name, whoever we get, one of the top 16, and you get money. Whoever wins it, they get all the money. Thinking, well, that's the way to do it. You don't worry about the upsets or anything. You either win or you don't. We got 2-minute warning already? Holy crap.
Well,
what is going on?
Teddy, I get in a bracket.
Yeah.
But when I have one like Michigan State I had in the championship game,
Right.
when I lose my main one like that, I just take the bracket and go like that and start rooting for all the underdogs.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. But I don't like to do that anymore. Okay, I just brought this up real
Father
quick.
time.
Well, last week, I didn't get a chance to really embellish on it, but why do we have daylight savings time? Honest to God, it does not make sense anymore. They talked about, you look back on the history files and it says we did it because of World War II, you know, for the war effort. We did it because the farmers need more daylight in the field and everything else. Well, now they got combines that go all night. They got lights and they got stereo and they got air conditioning. They don't care about that, what time it is. But yeah, GPS. Who gives a rip what time it is? Yeah, name it. Keep going, Andy. Okay.
He will. Don't egg him on.
You got Facebook, anyhow.
Instagram.
Yeah, you got it all. Chat room. So all I'm saying is, let's just get rid of the damn. You got some states that got, half the states got, the other half doesn't. You got, Arizona, you got Hawaii, they don't have it. Let's just get rid of it and don't have to worry about that crap of spring ahead and fall back. And you don't have to worry about that stupid saying. Okay, I got it off my chest.
Well, and the other rant we had for the week is my producer out there, when I sent him my column for the week, he said, oh, you're going to hear about that one. We mentioned, about the female official and
Right.
the officiating not being up to our standards at state. And
Right.
I did hear about it, Andy. I want you to know. Karen Simmons, on her third Long Island of the night, looked at me and said, I really agreed with that column. We had that woman ref 3 times in college, and I saw her walk out, and I went, oh, no.
Oh, no.
So that's what I heard, Andy. That's all the criticism I got.
I knew it would be positive.
The millions that read the column must have all agreed with it, huh?
I watched the girls' tournament. That was pretty good
Yep.
officiating.
That's always
Yeah.
that always seems better.
You see that one team had the 3 sisters playing? And one was like in 7th grade. Oh my God, they're going to be on. I can't remember the name of the team. Anyhow, okay, we got to wrap it up.
Ready to go?
What do you got?
Talk too much.
What do you got for a song? Got any song? Yeah. This is Kugath. I'm reading on the rap. He's gonna do and read it on Sunday rap. I'm gonna take a nap. Okay, gonna do bap bap bap. Okay.
Thanks to my right-hand man, Ted Hammond,
I've
for
already left the set.
sitting with me. Thanks for Hudson and Steve Andy for producing the show. Thanks to you watching, and if all goes well, we'll see you next week.